one by one, you guys can unmute yourself and just tell us about yourself and your exposure to IT before, and what is the expectation from this course, and just a little bit about yourself. I have, sorry, Shoaib.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so my name is Shoaib Faraz, and I have worked about 6 to 7 years, 7 years to be more precise. And out of 7 years, I have worked almost like close to 1.5 to 2 years in IT.
Mhm,
So yeah, so I have a bachelor's degree in engineering from
mhm,
India, and then I came to Canada in the year 2023 as an international student. I did my information systems in business analysis postgraduate diploma,
mhm,
and soon after my graduation last year, I got a chance to work in a company as an IT support specialist, but
mhm.
that was mainly like Mac OS environment.
Right.
And I have similar experience in India as well. So I have
Mhm,
worked there for about 13, 14 months. So as a help desk technician. So
mhm,
that was also mainly Mac OS.
mhm.
So I have worked on mobile device management tools like Mozile, and I
Okay.
have been an administrator for Google Workspaces. But
Mhm,
I have like a major weakness in Windows and Windows environment and Office 365. So I have learned only like through self, like on you like from YouTube and stuff. But I don't have like a formal education, or I don't have like hands-on experience in Windows and Mac OS. Sorry, Windows and Office 365. So
mhm.
my most of my work was managing Mac OS systems and
Right.
Google Workspaces and Okta
Mhm.
as identity providers. So I have a lot of experience with Google and Okta, but and like cloud heavy environment, but on premises like Active Directory and Microsoft, I don't have any like hands-on experience. I have like a general understanding of how they work, but
Mhm.
when I actually go for interviews, and when they give me like real time questions, like real scenarios on how like when I get questions like how do you troubleshoot this Windows issue, or how do you like what do you do if Office 365 crashes. So I find it very challenging. So like I have given a lot of interviews in Canada as well, but since like 90% of the interviews that I get are mostly Office 365 and
Yep.
Windows, I lack like knowledge in that. So
Mhm.
that's why I thought I would get a formal training and get myself certified if I have to, because
Yep.
more than 90% of the industry is Windows and Office
Yes.
365 heavy. Yeah.
Yep.
And then apart from IT, I also have experience working in customer service and sales. So I have worked for almost 5.5 years in sales and customer service. So I think, yeah, so that's pretty much about me. And then now I like really want to get into an IT support role. And yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Very nice, man. Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice explanation. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. And I just want to ask you, Shob, before I move on. I
Yeah,
know
sure.
you mentioned that I don't know if you mentioned, do you have any current IT certification, either expired or non-expired certifications?
Yeah, I do have like AWS certified cloud practitioner certification, which
Mhm.
is, I don't think that's relevant to what I'm doing
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Mhm.
but that was like one of our requirements in my postgraduate
Right.
diploma. So they said, get yourself certified, you choose what you want, but at
Mhm.
least get certified so that it's easier for the institution to get me placed somewhere. So I
Yes.
think that was not very relevant what I did, but
Mhm.
I did it like
Yeah. Yeah.
just like because cloud was like everybody was talking about cloud, so I thought, yeah, let me just understand how AWS works. So
100%.
yeah, so I have like AWS certified cloud practitioner.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then A plus, I have like CompTIA A plus. I don't have the certification, but I have gone through like training materials but
Okay.
that's so that's mostly theory, but I did not do anything hands-on.
Okay.
So I think this course can help me, get that confidence of doing something like hands-on, so that I'm more confident in my interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, usually the entry level roles they're looking for a certification, which I'll cover part of this today's thing as well. It's already in your portal. Which certification currently in the market that's getting really high end jobs, not high end jobs, but giving you more chance to get into entry level jobs, right? Which is what we're focusing on right now. So I'll talk about it in today's class too. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
so
sure.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, man. Who wants to go with next, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
Charles.
name,
Yeah.
my name is Sunday Charles Oko, but you could call me Charles Jr.
Charles
Yeah, I
Jr.
have I back in my country, Nigeria, I did a 3 month training for computer operating and engineering,
Mhm.
including networking, but that was actually a long time ago. And the certification then wasn't really relevant because it's a long time ago. So then I came to Canada. But before I came to Canada, I was in the UK. I did this online learning of IT support. You're aware of Udemy, right?
Udemy. Yeah.
Yeah, Udemy. So I did an online program on
Hmm.
Udemy where I learn at my pace. So I have the Udemy IT support certification,
Hmm.
and also I did NetCAD. NetCAD
Yep. Netcat.
cybersecurity.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
just did that few weeks ago, where I got
Mhm.
my badge. But currently, I studied. I came into Canada as an international student, where I studied carpentry and renovation techniques. But I have no intention of using that for a job
Mhm.
because I have a background in IT. So I just want to like bring out the IT in me. Like, if you understand what I mean, the
Right. Right.
yeah, I just want to bring out that in me so I could use that. I just want to
Mhm.
venture into the IT sector, the IT sector
Okay.
fully.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
100%.
that's why I decided to say, okay, come on, let me come on here.
Yeah. Very nice, man. Very nice. And Charles, do you have any active IT certifications that you hold right now?
I already have the Udemy
Udemy, right?
certificate,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So,
the
okay. Okay.
cyber
Uh,
security from NetCAD, the badge, just the badges. I already have the badge.
okay. So the Netcat can be valuable. A little bit. Sorry. Netcat is a little bit valuable. Udemy certifications are not valuable. Okay. But the
Uh,
Netcat ones are at least they have some sort of value to them. That's good.
okay,
Very good.
okay,
Yeah.
that's why I just had the NetCAD, but then I want to really venture into the cloud.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's my main that's my main
Yep.
what is it called? That's my main goal right now, to venture into the cloud. But first I want to come into the entry, that's the
Mhm.
entry level, which is the data analyst. So once I do
Mhm.
that, then build my I could build my portfolio into going into cyber security. And then I have to choose my niche, and that's my future goal right now. In the long term, I have to
Yes.
choose my niche. If I have to go through through the governance risk management, or I have to go through the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays even the entry level job they highly demand cloud, right? So which is what we're going to exactly learn in this classes as well. You'll learn Azure, you'll learn Office 365 for entry level role. With and you guys will be all proficient once you guys even in about 4 weeks, you guys should have pretty much Azure and everything under your belt, 100%
Okay.
for entry level role for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, very nice, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who wants to go next, guys?
Hi, my name
Yeah.
is Smriti Sharma, and presently I'm working as a clerk at Loblaws. Previously, I have had experience as a customer service advisor
Mhm,
with Shaw Communications. I worked there for about 1.5 years.
mhm.
Majorly, my experience is in writing and editing. I've done
Okay.
SEO writing and technical writing.
Mhm.
My idea of doing this training program is to, since I have experience as customer advisor, I just want to explore more options because IT support, get highly paid
Mhm.
and it has more options to get into IT sector. So that's what my idea is.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, the entry level roles for IT support. I'll
Mhm.
tell you the salary ranges in a little bit, but the entry level roles are they're not very low salary, but in the market, when you look at it, in the grand scheme of things in IT itself, it is slightly lower. But when you put in with other jobs, it's actually a relevantly average salary. Okay, which I'll
Mhm.
go through the salary what you guys can expect just in a little bit. Okay.
Yep.
For when you guys start off as entry level, what is you guys can expect, and there's two different scale to this. One is a full-time scale, and one is a contract scale, and I'll explain both to you guys how that works and what is the pay range you guys can expect with
Yep.
currently in the market. Okay,
Yep.
very good. And Smithy, and I just want to get a clarification. Was your education anything in IT? Not that you have to have.
No,
Just
that
wanted to say.
no, there is no education which is actually
No problem.
technical. I have journalism background.
Okay, very
Uh,
nice.
so since I do know the in and out of as working as a customer advisor, I get to get those calls from IT support, and I
Mhm,
do understand what's the what an IT support person goes through. So I just
mhm.
thought it could be something that I fit in maybe.
Yeah,
So I just want to give it a try because it's just something that I can relate to as while I was working with Shaw Communication.
yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yep.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry again that my cough coming back. I already took my tablets, but it just seems to be when I talk too much, which I like to do. That's the reason why I'm not talking too much today. It's because of my cough. You guys will see me talking more in the next couple of classes, but just today. And last but not least, I have Shail.
Hi, this
Hey.
uh, uh, I have done my bachelor's in computer science from India. So after my bachelor's, I moved to Canada. Here, I did my PG diploma in internet programming and database management.
Mhm,
But I have never worked in IT, and I don't have any certification. And I used to work in a restaurant as a server and kitchen helper for last 2 years, and
mhm.
currently I'm doing Uber. So I just want to start something in IT, and I'm looking for entry level position. So that's why I joined this course.
Yeah, very nice, man. Very nice. Yeah, nice and clean. Very good. Yeah, no problem at all. And I see that some of you guys have education background. Some of you guys are
Mhm.
getting new into it, right? Not a problem at all. Thank you so much for everyone for your you guys letting me know about your thing and what your expectations are. And I want to even in the previous meetings too, and I was very clear about what the expectations are. I believe. So first of all, I like to start off with telling you guys what is expected about this courses and everything. Let me just go on through my playbooks, and then I'll start to explain to you guys about some of the things I want to definitely cover today is some of the certifications right now, which is considered as a blackout period in the hiring terms. Any role right now, okay, any role there, nobody's going to do hiring usually in the Christmas and winter time. So usually from December 14th till January 10th, sorry, January 3rd, it's considered as a blackout period, meaning there's no one hiring, there's no one, working or anything, that everybody's in vacation, right? So it's called actually a blackout period. So no changes, no major changes, no hiring happens, okay? So usually the job market will come back up on after January 5th. Usually after January 12th, it'll start picking back up, okay? Until February middle. The reason why February middle, it's because after February and February, March, April. Sorry, February, like towards the end, is a financial year for businesses. That's when they file taxes and those type of things. So a lot of time, businesses will recalculate their investments and budgeting those type of things. And again, after March, you'll start picking up again. Um, which is a very good line right now, is because a lot of you guys can expect to land some sort of part-time not part-time, sorry, a contract jobs, which are not permanent jobs, but at least if for entry level to getting experience and exposure, it's one of the best route to get into. You guys will be assigned like a site or certain projects which will connect you with the right group of agencies that you guys can work with, and they'll help you land a job as well. Obviously, you have to have certifications completed for that, as I said in the previous classes as well. And we'll give you all the materials you guys need to pass those exams as well. Okay. And usually in our LMS portal, we have it. I'll log into the LMS portal and I'll show you guys how that will work as well. But feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any question when I'm going through these. And it's okay that you guys are unmuting and talking. Okay, I don't mind that. Okay, but I want to start off with saying how you guys can access these meetings. I know one of our staffs from CTech Training Center has sent you over your LMS login with your username, password, and then a Google Meeting link. You can use that link to join to this meeting, or you can actually go to the calendar invite that was sent to you through your email. I know some of you guys are using Yahoo. Some of you guys are using Gmail. If you're using Yahoo, I know that it goes into spam folders. So check in your spam folders. It should be in your spam folders. You should be able to approve it, and this should come in as your in your calendar as well, into Yahoo calendar. Okay, but usually you can get your links from your calendar as well for the meeting itself. Okay, but I'll show you here what I mean by that is so usually I'll show you on my Google Calendar. So we're this group over here. We're the ITHD-DEC, so you can't really see that, but we have 2-3 groups of the same things over here. Sorry. So this is your guys' one. So usually if you click onto this one, you'll see all the email list, which you can copy and send emails to. Send emails from here itself directly. And you'll see be able to join the meeting here as well. Okay. So if you're ever going to email a group, which you will be doing it to talk to your teammates, to ask questions and learn about assignments and those type of things, you'll have to do it among team members. You can always get up-to-date email list from your calendar invite itself. Just do email guests, okay? Email guest or copy emails from here. Now, whenever you're replying to emails, which I want to show you guys here as well, give me 1 second. Okay, so you guys are seeing this one over here. So what I want you to do is, if you ever want to send an email to your group, as I said before, you'll just go here. Let me just do accept this one, all the events. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. I just have to change something here. Okay. So if I was to refresh here, we should be able to get all the email lists from here. You guys can copy the email, compose a new email, paste it to the to list. You should give all the email address of all the participants in this group. And sometimes if people does update the email list, it'll go from here. Okay. And the subject is you have to have your course code, which is IT Help Desk, which is ITHD, and it's dash DEC. It's part of your calendar invite too. This is your course code. Okay. And anything you want to talk this way we know that which batch you're in and what are you talking about, okay? Because as I said, we have several of these batches running at the same time, so it's very hard for us to know which batch you're part of and which week you're in. As long as you put this in part of your email, we know which batch you're in, and then any assignments or any classwork you need to have, you can talk this way, okay? Not a problem at all. But usually our other groups too, if you see here, they usually will have a conversation like this about assignments, and these goes on, right? Like there's 10 different conversation. They usually talk about assignments and ask help. Usually what I like to do is I like to make sure that you guys get involved and you guys talk and try figuring it out after I show you guys, right? So it's more like, you know, you guys doing teamwork and understanding how this works, okay? That's how we would expect you to work, and I'll give you guys introduction about it. It's not, don't take it like too hard or anything like that. Okay, it won't be too hard for you guys. Sorry. Next thing I want to show you guys is your LMS. Sorry guys, I'm keep on coughing. It's probably annoying in the mic, but it's just my my throat is just not okay. So your LMS is always ctechtraining.ca. That's going to take you to your LMS portal, which is a learning management platform. So I'm just going to log out of here. So when you come into this, you're going to see this screen over here. Currently, these are the batches and courses we're running right now. Yours is IT Help Desk December batch. Okay. So when you log in on the top, you enter in your username, which is your email address, and the password that was given to you through your WhatsApp. Use the same thing and click sign in, log in, and then this will log in. Okay. And usually here we put in our holiday alerts, any holiday alerts that's supposed to come in. So the training center is closed from December 26th to 30th. So if you take a look at that, that's the week of usually from the Christmas. So we're closed on Christmas as well from Thursday. But we don't have any class on Thursday, as these points I mentioned. But we're closed until the 30th. Okay. And then for New Year as well, we're closed on the Thursday as well. Just to mention that, just so you guys know, the 27th class will be a holiday. Okay. Just so you guys are aware of it. But and then we'll continue back on the 3rd of January itself. Okay. But this is just about calendar invite, just a calendar with general information, those type of things. And any announcement we have, we'll put it over here. Okay. And then when you go in top here, you have home, which will just show you all the courses in here. I'm just going to my course here. You see the course that gets assigned to you. I can show you here as a student. So these are the courses that you have. It might show you this, it might not, I'm not sure. But then your course code is IT Help Desk, ITHD-December. Okay, that is your course code. So if you click into this one, it'll take you to the course code, and you'll be able to see the videos that's been unlocked for you guys. You guys might not be able to see all of this just because of my level of access that I can see this, but it gets unlocked to you guys during a certain time. Okay. Let me just switch the role to student over here. Yeah. So this is what you guys will see. So the week 1 content should be already unlocked for you guys to go ahead and see and watch these videos. Please go ahead and watch the videos, okay? Which will give you guys a little bit of understanding of certain things. In this course, we have divided this into things that you need to know and things that you must know, right? So must know meaning anything that's practical work, anything that needs me to explain in person. Yes, we will sit down and we'll talk about in live class, and hands-on activity we'll do here in that live class, okay? But anything that is more repeated information, we just think you just need it for your knowledge, we'll have that pre-recorded and uploaded here, so you guys can go ahead and watch these videos, okay? That's what the videos are. And usually the videos gets released to you guys on Mondays, every Monday. And then any quizzes too, they'll be released to you on Monday itself. Okay. And if you see here, these live recording, they're empty because the live recording has not been done yet, but they're just a placeholder. Soon as this class is done, give it about 24 hours, we'll upload it and we'll put the link over here. And you guys should be able to go and watch the video, okay, within 24 hours. And if you guys don't see within 24 hours, you guys are more than welcome to just message on WhatsApp. Message on WhatsApp for us, and then we'll make sure that if there's any issues, we'll resolve it. In the past meaning about 2 months ago, we didn't anticipate we had over 175 plus students this year. We didn't anticipate for that, so our LMS system crashed. So we actually moved into our own dedicated server for this one. So this one is much more bigger, and this can take in much more higher amount of students at any given point of time. So this should be okay. If you guys have any issues, please notify us. We will fix it, okay? Just so that you guys are aware. But everything should be in your LMS. You guys can go ahead and see. And usually when you go scroll down on your LMS, you have the content videos for most of the things that that you'll need help with, like resources. This has how to build your resumes, and we like to put in videos from popular people on YouTube, or from Indeed, LinkedIn, anyone that's giving very good advice. We like to put them in here, like this ITIL 4 Foundation certification videos. These are very good videos for the exam or for self-knowledge itself. We have Azure Fundamentals. These are these are videos that people has actually watched and passed the exam with, okay, from our previous batches. This is what we refer to other people, and they have watched and they have actually passed their exams with. So these videos are more than enough, and we're going to be adding in also A+ video in here as well, okay, very shortly, very soon. Okay, the resource section will have most of the videos that will help you to pass in certifications or getting your resume readied up, or pretty much anything that you need help with. Okay, that is what we try to do here in the resource section. Give you some sort of. We'll also add in some books in here, PDF books that you guys can download and read on your time, self time. So sometimes the exam dumps as well. We'll put in here. Okay, as it comes along. So time to time, just go into the resource section and check. Okay. And usually tell you what dates these gets opened up. Usually it's this one is incorrect. We'll fix that. This should be usually the Monday, like 4 or 5 days before the thing. Okay, start date. And usually there's 2 weeks of no live class. This is when you do your big Azure assignment. This will be a 2 weeks no live class, and for you to do the assignment. That is where the previous batch you guys are at right now. They're at this week they didn't have class, and last week they didn't have class. They're doing 3 big large assignments for Azure itself, and you guys will be that's the goal, to be there. Okay, then December 27th there won't be any live class over here. So in this date, I'll let you guys know one date will be pushed over. So I'll communicate to you guys next week when the dates will be slightly pushed and moved. Okay. But than that, you guys should be able to go in here and start watching the videos and be able to go in through here. And one more thing is your holidays are here as well, notified here in your course as well. And then your Google Calendar meeting link is also here. Okay, you can access a meeting from here as well. Your LMS portal here as well. Okay, and as you guys know, the class is every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 8 or 8:30 p.m. Okay, 30 minutes. Sometimes we might have to wrap up, and it takes some time. Okay. Any questions so far, guys, about LMS? Okay. Yeah, go on. Perfect. Thank you so much. So the expected end of this course is going to be February 7th. So we want to make sure we have everything wrapped up and complete this course. And we will give you guidance on certifications. Once you have completed certifications, you have to contact us back. We will connect you with the recruiting agencies, or we'll connect you with the internal recruiting agents, so you can start applying for jobs, and you can start putting yourself in the job market as soon as possible. Okay, so you guys have support until you get a job, right after you complete the course as well. Okay, so until you get a job, and job assistance is still there. So reach out, contact the team, and get you guys self through recruiters, and then get you guys roles in, right? So, but as I said, you have to do your own interview. You have to be prepared. So that's what we prepare you here for. Okay. And obviously the certifications are one of the things that it proves to the employer that you have the necessary skill that's been proven by the vendor itself. So Microsoft has proven that you have the skills, or AWS, CompTI for A+, or ITIL, or what are the certifications that are currently in the market right now, okay? Which I'm going to talk to you guys shortly about what is the things to expect in 2026, the first quarter. What is some of this top certification that's going to be there, okay? Okay, now that's good, very good. So I want to come to first quarter of 2026, which is going to be January, February, March, April, the 4 months of 2026, okay? In the past this year, we have seen Azure AZ 900, fundamental of Azure is being very good. MS 900, which is Microsoft 365 fundamentals as well, very good. ITIL fundamental was very good as well in people getting a job, and as well as A+. Okay, these 4 certifications are very good. Now you don't have to get all 4 of them. We never advise anyone to get all four of them. This year, we've told people to get AZ900 and MS900, right? Both are cloud fundamental exams, which were $90 each. But when you join the Microsoft seminars, you actually get a 50% off, 50% off on the exams, which will drop the price to, I think, $40 USD per exam, which is now for both exams, it'll cost you around 80 or 90 USD, I believe, for both exams together. And people took, even the people with no technical background, they took about 3 weeks to write the exams, and they were successful with it, right? The fundamental exams are very, very easy, but it just needs you to study and, understand the exams. And we already gave you the resource in the LMS itself. Those are the same videos that they have watched and they've passed with. So, but you just need to dedicate time and do those exams, right? Now, we already know what are some of the things that's coming in the pipeline for 2026. The first January month, there's going to be a lot of projects with CIBC and TD, which is located in downtown Toronto. Okay, now for this role, it is a contract-based role. So on the expected salary for this is anywhere from $20 to $21 an hour. Okay, that is the expected salary for this. That's very at the lowest or at the starting range. Okay, so it is a contract. It is entry level. Okay, well, this is for anyone with no experience, no background, or anything like that, and they will expect you to have A plus for sure, and they will actually expect you to have a driving license or some sort of transportation license available. Okay, for this role. Now there are actually many roles available, but I know that the CIBC and TD, they take in pretty much anyone with no experience, and it's very easy to get into it. The driving license might not be a very, very big issue. If you don't have it, it's not a big deal, but at least you must have A plus. I believe that's something that's very mandatory for them, is because of the contract policies or the corporation policy that they hold. Okay, and also there's government hospitals, also Microsoft 365 migration project, which is part of Lakeridge Health, Stouffville Hospital, and as well as Stouffville, Lakeridge, and Lakeshore. So these three hospitals, they're doing a big Office 365 migration project, which is around 6,000 users they're moving over from different branches into Office 365. That is a huge project as well. They're giving people contracts. They already started. They already started in 2025. They already started in October, I believe. So we have actually landed lots of people there. It seems like these ones, they do 1 month contract, they extend as long as they like your service and they like your customer service. You're able to follow instructions, you're able to do it properly. They like those, but for that they want to see MS900 for sure and AZ900 for sure. The fundamentals at least, and be able to follow instructions, be able to do the work, customer service, polite with the customers and users. Okay, and we also had people that was let go from the job itself, just being very open and transparent with you guys, because lack of communication and lack of empathizing with the users itself. Now, what I mean by lack of empathizing with the users by themselves is, you have to understand you're working in a hospital environment, and a lot of them are unionized environment. Some doctors or nurse working at 12 or sometimes even 13, 14-hour shifts per day, right? So if they cannot do it, you will have to reschedule. You can never ask them to work at your schedule. You're there to help them, right? So it's that mindset about helping, right? The service-oriented mindset, right? So if they don't see that and if they complain a lot, yes, they will take you off the job. Okay, just being very clear and very honest, because we had one person from previous batch that was let go for the reason of being very rude to the users. He didn't mean to be rude, but it came out to be rude. I do think it's just a miscommunication or lack of communication from the person side, right? So it is what it is, but at least next year he'll be able to get another role. But it's just unnecessary type of thing when we can avoid it, right? So it's that type of thing that I want to be very transparent and openly with you guys. Okay. Any question about what we talked about so far, guys? If I'm going too fast, please let me know. I can slow down if that's an issue. Everyone sleeping or everyone up?
Yeah, we are good. I think it was all very helpful and it was very clear.
Okay.
Very clear. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And why I'm telling you guys this is I want to be very open and give you guys as much information as possible on what is currently happening in the market right now, right? And trust me, when you start working with the agencies, when they give you guys first only 1 month or like they might even give you a 4 weeks contract, it's always the plan to extend. But they don't want to give you too much contract, like a 3 months contract, and cancel in mid. Rather than that, they'll give you like 4 weeks, and then they'll extend it and then extend for another 2 months, extend for another 3 months, or whatever it is. So always it's they want to see how you work. But these contracts, always remember that keep a very good eye on it, because these contracts can and potentially will turn into a full-time opportunity too. And a lot of our students from previously who worked in either CIBC or TD, Scotiabank, or even in the hospitals as well, went in with the 4 weeks contract, and they have extended to a 3 months contract, 6 months contract, 1 year contract, and then boom, they landed a 1 year. After that, it's a permanent. I think after 8 months or something, it's a permanent, right? Because it's cheaper for the employer to buy you from the agency itself after 8 months for very low cost than buying you before it, as long as you fit the correct thing, right? But always remember, the when you're doing contract, you have a very good potential of landing a full-time job or getting a very good reference, right? The first initial experience and the reference is one of the things that you guys can collect as well, right? So it's a very good learning curve, and as well as building the relationship inside thing, and with the agency itself too, right? So the recruitment agencies as well, okay? Because you guys representing the recruitment agencies, and it looks very nice for them to show a very good candidate to another employer, right? So they get trusted more, and they'll get asked them to help them again and again, right? So that's something that it's very needed to be seen like that, okay? And as I said previously, none of the agents that we work with will never, in any cases, will ask for commission from you guys, okay? They will never ask like that way. And if anything like that happens, please report it to me directly, okay? We make sure that all the ones we work with, they're legitimate. They're actually very highly professional recruiting agencies, so they will never ask you for commissions, okay? Very clear about that, okay? They should not be, they will not be, okay? Okay, guys. So if you guys have any questions, we can ask that, or we can get started on on um, on today's lesson. All right. Let me just get this prepared. So this is coming in context. Just think of this way. This might be jumping in between if you didn't watch the first two videos on the slides itself. From the LMS itself, so watch those two, and then this will start making more sense to you guys right after that, okay? But let's have this. It's about talking about networking for IT help desk. Um, one of the things that you guys will have to understand is this: for this role, we're never going to go into the role of administration, so we want to stay within the role itself, okay, which is for help desk support. So you'll never, in a corporate environment, you'll never be able to create something new. You'll always be in a position to maintain something that has been created, which means, like, you cannot create new access. You can only maintain new access. And when we go down to it, you'll understand what this means by when you guys start watching those pre-recorded videos and go through those. You guys will start understanding it. And please, if you guys don't understand, I encourage you guys to email the whole group. And then when you guys do a reply all. So give me 1 second. What I mean by reply all is I'll show you guys. So whenever you guys go into email, I'm not sure how it works in Yahoo, but let's say if you ever wanted to reply to this, right? So let's say if you ever wanted to reply Um, so let's say, okay. So let's say if we ever want to reply to this email chain here, usually in your email, you'll see only one arrow, not these two arrows. They say reply all, right? So you'll only see reply all. You'll always want to do, whenever you're replying to an email, you want to do reply all to reply to the whole group. Unless for specific reason, you want to just send it to me, which will be for submitting assignments. Obviously, you don't want to submit to your whole class. You want to submit to myself, you can submit it through the LMS portal itself. We encourage you guys to put it through LMS portal so it can be monitored, it could be recorded, and I can get notified from marking. Okay, itself. But you should be replying to all, so it replies to the whole group itself. Okay, and we want to keep the loop in same, right? So everybody's talking about the same thing in one thing. And usually for each assignment, we will create an email chain. So this is the IT Help Desk Numbers assignment 1 email chain. So keep anything with assignment 1 in here. For assignment 2, there's another one. Assignment 3, there's another one, right? So and then we have a general email chain as well. So where people can go and discuss about any questions they have on pre-recorded videos as well. Okay, which will create one of those today as well before we end the class today. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking about networking fundamentals for IT help desk support. So what is a network? A network is a group of devices connected together. Device communicate to share data and resources. Can be local, like in a home or office, or global, like the network. It's like the internet. Example of resource shared. So what we mean by resource, what is resource is, it could be files, it can be printers, it can be internet itself is a resource as well. It can be shared, and applications. Okay, these are what we call as resources. These are what we consider as resources. Why do they exist? Internet solves common problems, save money, right? So share one printer instead of buying 10. Imagine you have an office of 20 people, right? 20 people, and each one of them needs to print out something on a very regular basis, right? If we don't have network, right, what will need to happen is each one of those people will have to have a printer that's dedicated for them, so that they can be plugged into a USB cable and print, right? Which will now it'll build the cost for printing. The printer itself will have a cost. Now there'll be another cost for ink, right? Buying ink and storing the ink and papers and everything, right? So it adds on a lot of cost. Now, when we can network a printer, and most offices nowadays have this, right? You have one printer, one big printer sitting in the middle of the hallway or in the alleyway, right? That everybody can print it to and go and collect it from there, right? Now it's one big printer. It saves on cost. The ink itself is an industrial ink, so it costs very less, and it doesn't take as much electricity. It doesn't take as much cost now, and its maintenance is easier, right? Instead of 10 different printers, there's only one, right? So it allows us to share one printer among 20, 30, 50, 100 people. It doesn't matter, but it allows the capability for us to do that, right? That is what we call networking. Okay, enables communication. Without network, nothing can talk to each other. Okay, without a network, nothing can talk to each other, which means email, chat, video calls. Okay, helps collaborate, like shared folders, teamwork. When you can share Excel files among each other, work at the same time, document files where you can work at the same time and put some collaborations like that. Those are all part of networking concept. Okay, itself. And it's centralized management and security itself. Okay, without a network, every user would need their own internet connection and a printer. So without a network itself, if you think about it, the cable that comes from the outside of your house and comes into your house, there's a modem that's sitting there, right? That takes in as the internet from the outside cable, the coax cable into a modem, and the modem creates an internal network for you to use with many devices, right? If you go back 20 years ago, if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys are old enough, or I don't know if you guys remember, there used to be something called DSL modem or DSL gateway that it just gets plugged into one desktop and that's it. You cannot really share it. That desktop only has internet, right? And it's probably what, like $120 a month or something like that, even expensive in some places, right? Because internet was never a thing. It can never be shared like that, right? You have one line, it's supposed to be for one computer. Your cell phone never had it. You have to get another one for your cell phone itself, right? So, but networking has made it easy for us to share with other devices itself, okay? One connection gets split up into many connections so other device can do its own things, connect and do internal and external stuff too. Okay. And if you guys don't get this, please unmute yourself and ask or raise your hands, okay? And please don't think of anything like a silly questions like that, okay? Everybody needs to get understanding. I just want to make sure everybody understands this, okay? So what does home network looks like? So device equals your device at home is like phones, laptops, tablets, smart TVs, printers, right? Router connects to ISP and shares internet. So if you look at here, ISP is internet service provider. Okay, it's off. So Rogers, Bell, Telus, whatever it is, right? Whatever your home internet is, they have this big tower, right? There's a wire that comes to your house and connects to the modem. At home nowadays, you have a modem and router all in one device itself. But we're talking about just in the olden days, right? There's a modem and the router itself. Even at the office, we have at the 4168 Finch Avenue CTEC training centers at our institution, we have it two different devices. We have a modem and we have a router itself. Because in the industrial way, even commercialized environment, we actually split them up. And there's a reason why we do that. I'll explain to you guys. But there's a modem and there's a router. And this will help us to share along with different devices. Whereas before, this itself modem gets connected to one computer and you're done, right? So with the help of a router, now we can share it among different devices itself. Device connect wirelessly, Wi-Fi, or with cable, which is internet cable itself, okay? It's the blue cable that has 8 different prongs. What does an office network looks like? So as we talked about, there's an internet, there's a modem, there's a router slash firewall itself. It's where it gets captures all the antivirus and those type of things, right? There are services that protects the company from any sort of hacking attacks, vulnerabilities, or unnecessary traffic to come into the business itself. Now you have a switch. Switch is nothing more than multiple. You can connect multiple devices at the same time into it. And I have one right over here. A switch will look something like this. It's literally just just a big device with lots of port. This one is a 20. This is a 24 port, so I can connect. This is a Cisco one, so I can connect up to 24 devices in here with no issues, right? And this will make sure that it's usable for the 24 devices. And a router will look something like this, a commercial router here. This is a Aruba commercial router itself. So this is a router itself, okay? And what if Rogers routers gets plugged in here, and this will do the routing itself. This is like the, this one, the firewall. This is a firewall on a router itself, okay? This is what it looks like. And it gets connected to switches. And for Wi-Fi, this doesn't do Wi-Fi yet, okay? This just does internet itself. For Wi-Fi, we have something called access point. These are what we call access point. So this is what enables us to do wireless, okay? This will get connected to the switch which I showed you through with these ports. So there's ports in here, you see here, there's an internet port here and here. These gets connected to the switch itself, okay? And I can mount as many as I like across the building. And they'll always do the same Wi-Fi name as long as I program them. You'll never seem to be running out of Wi-Fi anywhere. As long as I can get my cable there and put one of these devices in, you'll never have a slow speed at anywhere, okay? And that's the reason why in commercial buildings, you'll see that, a lot of places you go to, you can travel pretty much anywhere in the building and you'll still have very good Wi-Fi signal, is because if you look at the top of the buildings, you'll see something like this that's mounted like this. This might look like a fire, those fire devices, what is it called? The smoke detectors or fire detector devices, but this is actually Wi-Fi. This is from Unify, but you have from Cisco, you have from Aruba, which is very popular in the industry right now. But it's pretty much, these are Wi-Fi access points called AP access points, okay? This is what allows for Wi-Fi itself. Now you have your servers and you have your computer and cell phone, everything, okay? But you see in a corporate environment, it's 3 different devices. We have the router and firewall over here, we have the access point and the switch I showed you right there, right? So this is how it works. It's split up into many other devices, just so we can avoid one single point of failure. So at home, if your modem or if your modem fails, which means your router is going to fail, your access point is going to fail, pretty much you won't get any internet right away. Everything will stop at the same thing because it's all in one device, right? Where in a corporate environment, let's say if my router fails, I can easily get that replaced with my secondary one if I have it as a backup, right? Matter of minutes, and I can still do my work. Because in a home, it doesn't consider as a mission critical. If it fails, then yes, they can get it replaced in 1 or 2 days. If it's a weekend, you probably don't have anything. You can't do anything, right? Rogers will probably give you $30 off on your bill, but on a business they can't do that, right? Because your business can be per day, could be $1 million business, so they cannot afford to do that. So in case something happens like this, you can do the swap very quickly and get it done. The chances of a modem getting faulty is very slim because there's not much a modem does. It just takes literally a binary zeros and ones from the ISP and converts it and allows your router to use it. It just allows for connection. It is just a broker, that's it, between your house and the ISP itself. That's all it is, okay? The cable connection. Does that make sense, guys? Or am I just above your head right now?
Yes, it does. I mean, yeah, it's all clear.
Clear? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else understanding, or you guys are still like too advanced for you guys? Perfect. Very good. Very good. Just wanted to make sure you guys were all on the same page. Okay. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, Charles. It seems like your mic is unmuted, but I can't hear you. Maybe can you end the call and join back in? Let's wait until Charles is back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I notice with Google Chrome,
No,
I have
no,
the issue.
no. I think what happened is I think it's connected to my phone. So when I disconnected my phone, my microphone disconnected. So if I'm talking right now, it's connected to my MacBook and my iPhone.
Right,
So
right.
together.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles. Do you have any questions, Charles?
No. I just wanted to be sure you can hear me because the
Perfect.
first
Yeah.
time I wanted to ask a question, but then you couldn't hear me. So
Yeah, no worries. What was the question, man? Let's clarify it.
I wanted to tell you to slow down.
Okay.
Like, because you are moving so fast. So
Okay. No worries.
Slow down a little bit.
No worries. Did you want me to cover something again for a little bit, or
Okay.
was there a topic?
The network diagram. You said something about a modem, a router / firewall. Because most of the time, I think a firewall is like an application in this. No, it's like a software application in a computer. Not until you mentioned it's a physical device.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Sure, because most of the time, if I'm doing what's it called? If I'm trying to do an installation on the computer, for instance, it's once I'm done putting in the software, and it says something about a firewall. I should turn on my firewall. So when I turn on my firewall, I think it's inbuilt in the software.
Yeah,
I didn't.
and what I'm trying to do here is, I know I had one of these laying around here somewhere. It's a hardware firewall. It's called a hardware firewall. I'm just trying to see where I put it. I think, you know what? I gave it to someone, I think. Give me 1 second. Let me just see. No, I didn't put it in here.
I don't know. I honestly didn't know we had hardware firewall. I thought we only have the software part.
Right. Yeah, so I don't have the hardware firewall box with me here, but yes. So firewall, there's two different types of firewall. One is a software-based firewall, which is very good. It's built into your router.
Mhm.
It's built into your computer, and it could be built in your phone and everywhere, right? It's a software base. Now, that's good for almost 90% of everyone. Some companies might have higher threats of attacks, higher threats, and they want to have a little bit more defense, right? Because they might be handling some sensitive data, just like hospitals, prisons, some high valuable companies itself, right? So what they can do is that you can actually buy something called a hardware firewall. One of the famous one is called WatchGuard. WatchGuard firewall is one of the leading in the industry for hardware-based firewall and software-based firewall too. And what these do is the reason why these are better is they have a built-in computer. Imagine your computer, right? Your computer has to do your task. You're watching my Google Chrome, and it's handling a lot of tasks at one time, right? So it's not really dedicated to fight threats or fight defense against threat. Whereas a hardware firewall, it's 100% of the duty is to fight these threats. So it's isolated environment. It's meant to only do that, right? So it's much more secure. It's much more faster at doing certain action. It's much more faster at detecting threats, right? So people like a big corporation, enterprises will like to have a hardware-based firewall. Now, the hardware itself is very cheap. What I mean by cheap is 800 to 3,000 or $4,000, depending on the size and those type of things, right? I think the one I had is this one over here, T20. Yeah, T20. This one, I don't know where I put it, man, honestly. But it's almost the size like this, to be honest. It's almost size like this, right? But this has a 4 connection, and it's called T20. I think this one, when I got it, it was around $800 or something. The cost you pay on these are the yearly subscription. They're almost like antivirus, right? So every year you're doing them, and depending on the license you want to get, the cost goes up, right? I believe the licensing for see, this one is only 516 Canadian, right? So when I got it almost 3 years ago, around 800 Canadian or something like that, which is very common price for these. But the licensing you'll end up paying for them maybe $3,000 a year to $25,000 a year, depending on the license you get. The reason it matters sometimes nowadays, you have AI integration with it, right? So you can detect pattern, which means if Arvin is in HR and his line of work is like supposed to be, updating payrolls and those type of things, but all of a sudden my behavior has changed from doing payroll work from 8 to 5, and then after like 6 or 7 p.m., I'm starting to do something shady. It looks slightly off or slightly different. You can even make it to do is alert the administrator saying that my pattern has changed, or to stop me, right? So you can do that type of lot of different things with it right now with a hardware-based firewall. Software-based firewall, it's still good, but it's not as fast, or it's not as reliable as a hardware-based firewall. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Very good, man.
Okay, good. So basically, the hardware firewall, the physical one, is mostly for components. It's not like for personal use.
No, you wouldn't use it for personal use. It'll become very expensive.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense now.
Yeah, it's very even for mid-sized company, a hardware level firewall is not needed, to be honest. What I mean by mid-level companies, anything that is less than 2,000 people are working is still considered as mid-sized business. It doesn't need anything like a hardware firewall. Like anything 1,000 people are working or under, you don't need a hardware firewall for it. A software firewall can manage the traffic. So usually this router has a firewall built in as well. This can handle pretty much 1,000 to 2,000 people working. We have 2 or 3 of these routers in the office. Should be more than enough, handling the traffic. When we go beyond that, 3,000 people, 4,000 people working at a company mark, that's when a real hardware firewall comes into play, and it does a very good job at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so as a IT help desk analyst, what are like the common issues that we might run into when we are dealing with firewalls or routers? Because I think we will not be doing any configuration part, correct? That
No,
will be
and yeah,
done by the administrators.
so
But yeah,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. So like, what kind of interview questions we might expect, like as an IT help desk, like what do you do with router, or what issues have you faced with a firewall, and how have you dealt with it? If we come across such questions, how would we like deal with them?
Yes, and I'm going to show you guys exactly by hands-on right now in just a little bit in a couple of slides. I'm going to
Okay.
go through some of the troubleshooting steps that you guys can do, some of the things that you guys need to check, and there's like 4 or 5 different commands that we will run through today, just so you guys get yourself familiarized with. Okay, that you guys
Okay.
can use for your interviews. Usually with the networking, it's very you can easily narrow it down as long
Okay.
as you memorize these commands. And I'll show you them, and you'll actually see me hands-on doing it. And you guys are more than welcome to do it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man. Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go back here. Sorry, guys. I just have a bad. It's a dry cough. That's the thing. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay. So this is just a chart of, wired versus wireless. This is just telling you guys that the speed, reliability, flexibility, and used for wired is always faster and more stable, because remember, wireless internet, it works on radio waves, right? So if you have interference, radio waves can be interfered by metal objects, microwave. If you have like the microwave, like a food heating machine, microwave, if you have anything nearby or turned on anything that will interfere with your Wi-Fi signals. Same, same as your cell phone signals as well. Cordless phones, those old and cordless phones, that will definitely affect Wi-Fi signals. Can fluctuate. Heavy beams, like iron beams, if you have any heavy iron beams in your workplace, metal roofing, those type of things will definitely hinder with Wi-Fi signals. Okay, reliability, wired internet is much more highly reliable, and whereas Wi-Fi can drop. Flexibility, wired is never flexible. Okay, when you run a wire to a certain location, you have to stay within the location itself. Whereas Wi-Fi, it's easily movable. You can move around while you work, and it's mobile, right? It's mobile friendly. And internet is the cable is used for desktops and servers, mainly on servers nowadays. Okay, because for servers, you don't really move them around. They stay in the same locations for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? So they don't get moved on, right? But Wi-Fi is used on laptops, phones, tablets, and nowadays on even on desktops too. Okay, they're used on desktops too as well. And this is the small chart to you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to remember the word called node. So node is any device connected to a network. Okay, from a network standpoint, from a router or from a switch standpoint, right? Let's say, imagine you put yourself into if you're the router, for you, anything that you're connected to, that connects to you, is considered as a node. You don't care if it's a computer, if it's a cell phone, if it's a thermostat, if it's a light bulb, you don't care. As long as you're giving it an IP address, which is what an address you as a router, you give it to the device itself. Okay, as long as you give a device an IP address, you consider that as a node. Anything with a network address, okay, it's considered as a node. And it could be computer, phone, printer, router, server, light bulb, switches, not switches, sorry, pretty much anything that gets an IP address itself. Okay, and this is called the OSI model. Okay, it's you don't have to memorize this for your role. This is what we consider. This is a very older technology. Okay, this is a very, very theory based. You don't have to remember this. There's actually a newer one right now. It's a 4-layer, but you're not going to become a network administrator. But this is how networking works. This is very, very old in technology. It's not being used right now, but it starts off with the physical connection, cable connection. Next is like a data link, they call it. network, transport, session, presentation, and application. So these are 7 layers how the network works. It's been explained to people in the past. Okay, now it's been changed to a 4-layer one, but this is traditionally what everybody shows. Okay, it's a 7-layer OSI model. Is just to show you guys how this will work. The physical connection is where it's a cable connection, either fiber optics. Nowadays, if you're using Bell at home, you'll see a small thin cable that comes in and goes plugs into your router. Okay, or you get the coaxial cable, which is like the TV cable type of thing, the round cable with a pointy brass connector on the end. You screw in. Those are called coaxial cable, right? Either that, right? Coaxial cable are more older fashion, which is what Rogers is using now. Bell is using fiber optics, right? In a lot of new areas. So fiber optics cable or internet. You don't really get internet outside. Internet's more inside, right? So is anything physical cable itself. Next is physical addressing, so which is your MAC address. Okay, so MAC address is pretty much any device that can connect to a network will need to have a physical address. So meaning, if our building address is 4168 Finch Avenue East, which is where CTEC training is located, right? Um, before the building address gets produced or given by the city of Scarborough itself, we need to have the building, right? So which means that something has to be built, and we need to have geolocation, right? Which is like the geolocation for that. It's a unique address that is given to us, and then the government issues us the address itself, right? It's a unique address for itself. Okay, so it's saying 4168 Finch Avenue East itself. That is a physical address that's been issued by the government itself. We cannot change it. We don't have the right to change it, right? But that's how we can send emails out of the building and receive mails inside the building, right? Without that legally getting the address, we cannot send a letter out or receive letter inside too, right? Nobody would know we exist, or we cannot say we exist, right? So it's the same way how it works. These address gets created by the manufacturer itself. Like if you see this one over here, this router, this will have something called MAC address over here. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but the sticker has MAC address itself, and usually each one of the inputs will have their own MAC address. So anything that can connect to a network, like this one, the A access point itself, will also have a MAC address, MAC ID. It's over here on the sticker over here. But if you turn your laptop, look at the back, there'll be MAC address itself. Your phone, if you go into your settings, there's a MAC address. Okay, without a MAC address, your device cannot connect to the internet, which means your router has to see your device has a MAC address, and then it leases or lets you to borrow IP address. Just remember what I said, it leases, okay? It only gives you temporary access. And you can set how the temporary access work. How long do you want the person to hold the address for? Do you want them to hold it for 30 minutes, 3 hours, 24 hours, 30 days, whatever the duration is? But it's called a DHCP. So where a MAC address, you have to have a MAC address for your router to give you or lend you an IP address, okay, to use or borrow. Okay, and then that's how your IP address gets renewed and released. So for you to go ahead and see your your IP address on your computer itself, let's open up. Let me just minimize this. In your start, let's open up CMD. So C as in Charlie, M as in Mary, D as in Dave, which will open up command prompt, okay? Which will be a black window with a white texture. I'm going to switch this to, give me 1 second here. Okay. So if you ever want to check your IP address and see what is the IP address, the easiest way is to open up your CMD or ask your users to open up their CMD and type in IP config. This will work on any Windows computer, okay? Any Windows computer. If you're on Linux or Mac, do you guys know what command this would be? Like, have you ever used it? I think somebody has worked with the Mac environment before, right? Have you ever used an IP to view the IP? command on a Mac?
I haven't, but I've worked in the Mac environment before, but I haven't really thought about it.
Okay.
I only know about the Windows, which is the CMD prompt IP configure. I know about this, but I've never really worked about on the Mac Windows before, like with their commands.
No problem. No problem. Does anyone else know? Show.
Yeah, so we have if config.
Very good. So on
Mac.
Linux and Mac, it's if config. So instead of IP config, it's not going to work here. Instead of IP config, if I do just up arrow, will come up. It'll be on Linux and Mac, it'll be if config. Okay. This will not work in here, but because it's a Linux and a Mac command, that's the only difference between Windows and thing. Okay. So if you guys see here, what if config does is it gives you a very minimalistic information regarding your IP address. Okay, so if we scroll down here, for me, I'm connected through Wi-Fi here, which I can see on my computer. I'm connected through Wi-Fi. So which means I have to see my Wi-Fi adapter itself. Okay. So if you see here, let me start off from the thing. This says Internet adapter. When it says Internet adapter, Internet, it's a physical adapter itself. Okay. So this is still Internet 3. I have a couple of connectors here. Okay. And a couple of them are emulated as well, which we'll talk about in later in sections down the road. And if you see here, I have my wireless LAN adapter local area 9. Then these are all virtual ones. Okay. If we scroll down here, wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi, and see here connected DNS surface LAN, IPv4 address this is IPv4 address, subnet mask, default gateway. So this is my this is the IP addresses that this is my assigned to my wireless adapter here, which is what I'm using to talk to you guys over the video call right now. Okay. Now, what I just mentioned before is this is a minimalistic information. Okay. Now, if we want to get a broader information and much more in-depth information, what we can do the same command. I'm just pressing the up arrow on my keyboard. It goes to the same commands I have typed up and down arrow. Okay. I want to do space /all. What this will do is this will give me elaborate information on all the adapters I have in my computer. Okay. So if you guys see here, this has given me a much more elaborate information that is not necessary for when we're looking at small information. Which I want to show you guys is what type of information you're getting here is a MAC address of each each devices, both virtualized environment and physical environment. Okay. So if I scroll back here on top, this is where it is. This tells me the host name. This is my computer name. This is Adawan Dell Latitude 5410. This is my computer name itself that I named. If you scroll down here, Internet adapter, and it says what type of Internet adapter it is the Intel R Internet connection, and it says a model number and the physical address. So when it says physical address, it is considered as a MAC address itself. Okay, it has been given by the manufacturer. This address is unique, and guys, and this is something that a lot of cyber criminals get caught. This is the way your MAC address can literally be traced down to which computer, which manufacturer, which model number as well, sort of. It's very easy to trace down, and this is how they collect evidence. Once the MAC address has been caught, it can never be changed. It can be destroyed. That's a different story. But once it's been captured, they can always trace it back and say, yes, this is where the computer was exactly the crime was started from. This is the computer that was committed. The crime was committed from. This is how they trace it back to the MAC address itself. It can never be changed. It's a physically encoded into the chip itself. Okay, it can be destroyed, but it can never be changed. But let's scroll down here. This one you'll see Realtek USB family. This is part of another connector I have connected to my computer here. And if we scroll down here, you'll see here VirtualBox host only Internet adapter. So this is a virtualization software, which I believe in the next week, the recorded videos, you'll start watching videos about virtualization. How does virtualization work? Okay, and the physical address for this too. Even virtual computers will have a MAC address as well. It still needs a MAC address to receive an IP address, right? for you to connect to online or connect to the network itself. Okay, and if you scroll down here, and then if you scroll down here, and then let's go down to the Wi-Fi Ethernet after. Sorry, guys. Okay. The description is Intel Wi-Fi 6E AX211 160 megahertz. Okay, and it gives me the exact MAC address. The reason why this might be important is, let's say, and I'll show you guys how to do the checking to see if your firewall is getting blocked or something like that. But let's say you found out, right? You're supposed to access the website. Your personnel that says that they're supposed to visit a government website, but it's getting blocked by your corporate firewall. You would collect information. You'll actually get the MAC address of the computer, both for the wireless chip, if they're accessing from wireless, and wired connection chip as well. And usually you'll focus on the Intel one over here. Remember the Intel one, which we saw, internet after internet connection, this one? This is what you focus on, this physical address over here. These MAC address, you'll actually give them to your networking team for them to whitelist it or allow it to go through. And this is the information that you'll need, okay, the MAC address itself. And the MAC address, you must give it to them the exact same format. This is very important. It cannot be altered itself, okay? And it must exactly have the dashes and everything. They'll put it in the same way. Now, if you see DHCP enabled, this says yes, which means the router is lending you the IP address itself, okay, for you to access the network. Auto configuration is enabled, yes. IPv4 address, this is your address on the router itself. This is how the router knows where you're located. And this has been given to you by your MAC address. Your MAC address was shown to the router, and the router says, "Okay, very good, man. You have a physical address. Here's a IP address you can borrow." And here's a fun fact here: the lease obtained. Okay, on December 11th, 2025, 7:37 p.m. This IP address was given to me, which was what 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. This will expire on December 14th, which is tomorrow, at 5:54 p.m., 5:56 p.m. So I had about 3 days of lease time, 2.5 days, I think, certain 2.5 days or something like that. Whatever the math is. But this is when my IP address will expire. Now my router will check and see. There's a couple of things that can happen here, right? My router will take back the IP address and maybe put it back into the pool and give me a new IP address, or issue the same IP address back because it's not getting used by other systems. It's the router's thing, right? It depends on the configuration they use. That it can totally differ. But the thing is, as you know here, this is when it's going to expire. This is when it was given to me. Okay, itself. And what is a default gateway? Is when you see default gateway, this is your router's address. Now, this is, remember I told you this is IPv4 address. This is your computer's address. Now, your computer needs to know where the router is located. This is a router's address. Okay, this is where your router is located at 192.168.86.1, and each one of you guys will be different. Okay, it's totally different. It's totally different for you guys. Now, the DNS DHCP, it'll be the same thing. It's still pointing towards your router itself. Your router will handle everything else. Basically, anything to leave your house to go into the network, your router will take it and go everywhere out of your house to do all the things. Like if you want to go to youtube.com, your router will take it, send it outside, get the information, get it back to your place, okay, to your computer itself. Does this make sense, guys? Yeah. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, we are listening.
Okay. But you guys are able to understand, right? Like everything's going smooth for you guys?
I think so.
If you have questions, please feel free to ask, man.
No question.
Okay, perfect, very good. Okay, now I want to show you guys another command. It's called a ping command, okay? So what does a ping command do is it's PING. You can see if you can reach a destination. So let's say if the user is saying that they cannot access youtube.com or certain like hotmail.com or whatever the website is, right? The first thing you can do to see is if that site or if that IP if the site is reachable, right? And you can test this for sites, computers, servers, printers, pretty much any node. For websites or online websites, as long as you know the address, the IP address itself, we can map it out automatically. If it's a node, you need to know the IP address, okay? So let's say in the instance, we want to ping, we want to see if we can reach youtube.com, right? We can just do ping youtube.com. Your online DNS record. DNS means it's I completely forgot what it stands for. Give me 1 second. It's a
Domain
domain
name
name
server.
system. Yeah, system. So domain name system, what it does is it's a basically a big directory. Imagine like your address book, right? So remember back in the days, or in your phone, you have 416-700-3896 as CTEC Training Center. You're basically saying, if I'm calling CTEC Training Center, call this number, right? So if you type in CTEC Training Center and call, it takes you to that automatically. You don't have to memorize like a 10-digit number, right? So same thing for IP addresses. You don't really want to tell someone every time you want to go and look up youtube.com, go to 142.250.13793. It's not really humanized, right? It's very, very mathematical. It's very computerized, right? So it's not easy for humans to memorize it. For humans, it's more of acronyms or words or like some sort of a sentence is easy for us to memorize. So DNS helps us to put a humanized wording for an IP address, for a number, and it does that automatically in this big DNS world itself. So for anything website wise, as long as it's alive, it was alive, the DNS will be there globally, meaning all over the world, anybody can access it. So let's say if you were to ping, same thing here, ctechtraining.ca, this will automatically go and check the online, the big web. As long as your computer has internet connection, you can go online and check where is ctechtraining.ca is located. And it found out the IP address is 172.64.80.1. And then it checks if it's available, if it can be reached, if it can be communicated. So it's saying reply from thing, it's successful, and you'll get a small summary stating that there was 4 packets sent. So imagine saying hi, right? Hi, how are you? And 4 times it would send, and 4 times it was received. So when I said hi, I got hi back from the server itself. And we said it 4 times. For Windows, 4 times is considered as a very good test, a quick and easy test, right? For Linux or Mac, it goes on for unlimited amount of times, and there's reasoning why we do that too. Like it's for testing and those type of things. We would let it to go throughout infinite amount of time, and we'll check the interruptions or any miscommunications there. But for general purposes, 4 times is more than enough, and we have 0 loss, which means perfectly very good amount of accessibility, right? We can access the website from, and we can reach the website itself. Now, at this point, if we go on to actual Google Chrome and we type in CTEC Training Center and you cannot visit the website, this means it's a firewall rule itself, okay? There's another thing to which we can check. Let's say if CTEC Training Center it's non-reachable, it's at let's say at let's make a one mistake over here. So where this says ctechtraining.ca is not reachable, because there's no thing as ctechtraining1.ca. It's just saying I could not find anything that in the internet that's called ctechtraining1.ca. It's very instance, right? But then there's something called a trace route. What this will do is this will show you the route it took to go and reach the website. So it's called trace route. Trace route, RT. Sorry, trace route, RT. TRACE, RT. Trace route, okay? This will show the route it takes to go to the website. And let's do the simple ones here, youtube.com. And you'll see, identify the IP address where this is located, and you'll see how this will go through. Go ahead. So if you guys see here, it went to my first router here. So I have two routers at home. I have a bit of a weird setup here at home, okay? Because I teach ethical hacking as well, so sometimes I have to take some steps in protecting my things here. So, but there's one router inside my house, and this router gets forwarded to the next router. And then if you see here, this is a Rogers pool, okay? So Rogers' main IP address junction, and this goes to the Ajax Rogers junction here. I live in Ajax, by the way. So we're actually seeing the clear path of how we're trying to reach youtube.com. And it's okay to see request times out. That's fine. Okay. So at the end, we reach youtube.com, which is the same IP address here, 142.250.139.93, youtube.com. But this is a route it took to travel to reach there. There's a couple of request timeout, which is totally fine. We still reach youtube.com, okay? In case of a firewall issue, you'll actually get blocked right over here, somewhere over here, and it'll just say packet lost. It'll just completely not reachable, okay, itself. But if you see here, it started off at the first routers, went to my second router, and then it got out of my house, go to the Rogers' junction, and the junction in Ajax, and then it traveled to another server, couple of server, it bounced through there, went through there, and then after 18 different hops, it went to youtube.com, right? So when we go on Google Chrome and type in youtube.com, this is actually what's happening in the backend, but in milliseconds, right? In nanoseconds for us to reach youtube.com. And this is how the actual internet works in the backend. So let's say if we were to do this for the same thing here with ctech training.ca, the same thing will happen. It'll contact my first router, go to my second router, go to the Rogers' junction box. You see the first two Rogers junction box will stay the same. This is like, imagine like, you're sending a parcel or you're sending a package to your friend's house, right? But just because one of your friends lives in north side, one of your friends lives in south side, you might have to take different routes, right? Just to get to deliver to their house. And then also consider that you want to save on gas, you want to save on, time used, right? So the fastest and the quickest method as much as possible. And you see here, this one we were able to reach much more quicker than youtube.com, right? Much more faster with less amount of time traveling, right? This one took us about 18 hops, we call it. This one took about 9, okay? We had one request timeout, which is totally fine, but we still reached ctechtraining.ca, and this is the IP address over here. And this is how you would determine if there is a blockage, and if there is, like, let's say, like, this might not work because it doesn't exist. I just wanted to show you of a certain thing that will get blocked, but I don't have any examples here. Still going to the same IP address because it's still located in the one server. That's the thing. It's all going to the same. They're all located in the same host. That's the reason why, guys. But when there is a firewall rule that's stating that you cannot access this from this computer, you'll usually see where it's stopped at. And where this will get stopped is before it even leaves your company. So it usually will get stopped at your final router over here. And after this, it would not be able to reach out because it's not leaving out of your router itself, right? And your firewall will not let it to leave out your let it go out of your router itself. Your firewall will stop it there. But let's say if it does pass and goes to Rogers or any other IP addresses and gets blocked somewhere else, it's not in your place to unblock. But if it gets stopped at your router's place, then it's still within your firewall itself. Okay. What I mean that is, if it just gets stuck at 192.168.1.1, that means this is from your firewall side. But let's say if it reaches here and it's just say request timeout, request timeout, request timeout, and it failed over here, this could be a possibility that it's from the other side, from the website side as website side. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Like if this has failed right over here, this would be considered as a block from YouTube side itself.
Yeah.
But if it gets blocked right over here, let's say after this it doesn't go out, it just says request timeout, which consider that our firewall inside the company itself is blocking us from leaving outside. Okay, that is how you determine internal or external issues. If it's internal, yeah, we can fix it. We can tell our networking team, pass the detail on, give them the MAC address, give them the scenario. They'll deal with it. They'll unblock it and let you know. But this is outside. You can still let them know. What they will do is they'll try to contact the vendor, like YouTube.com, and tell them that, hey, this is their IP address. We're trying to reach you. Could not do it. Can you unblock us? Usually, if they find the circumstances, they will unblock. But because you have given the evidence, it makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Any questions here, guys?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, for example, if a user in a company
Mhm.
is not able to access a certain website, so this is exactly how we follow, right?
Yes.
To determine.
So exactly. So the first thing you would do, like honestly speaking, the first thing I would do, instead of pinging and everything, I'll just do a trace route from the CMD itself. And if I can see it completely going through and reaching the thing from trace route, two issues could be. One is the browser itself is outdated. So maybe the extension or something that is not working. So I would try it on an Edge, Google Chrome, Firewall, right? Firefox, whatever it is. It could be that, just outdated. Maybe try updating it, right? Or it could be actually a web-based firewall that's blocking it. Because a ping is different from website accessing.
Yeah.
But if you can see that it's getting blocked on ping as well, then it's a hard rule on the firewall as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. And I want to explain to you guys this one, and I usually like drawing this one out. Let me just Okay, let me share this and I'll delete this one over here. This one is not needed. Okay, so this is what we call your home network, okay? This bubble over here. So imagine this is a universe with your home network in it, okay? And now this red part is the whole dangerous part. This is your online, like where youtube.com, your google.com, everything's located, okay? So pretty much, so imagine this way, okay? Sorry, let me do this. So it might be still confusing for some of you guys. What is your role of your router? Like, what does it do, right? So this is your home network. It's a nice and peaceful. There's nothing dangerous there. Or it's your internal network. Not home. I don't want to call it home network. I want to say internal. Okay, office, home, whatever it is. Your router literally sits right in between like this. It's a bridge. It opens up the gateway for the external to come into your internal and the internal to talk to your external. So which means without this bridge over here, you're pretty much you have no way of talking to the outside people itself. Okay, you have no communication. So what this allows you to do is allows you to communicate with the outside and the outside with inside itself. Okay, that's what allows you to do. Now, your router is also in charge of. It has a two or three different, roles, right? One of them, it can actually manage the internal network without if you have 10 different computers in here, right? Let's say 10 different nodes. It could be printers, it could be cell phones, whatever it is, right? Nodes we're talking about, right? Anything that is needing a network. If you guys want to talk among each other, you guys pretty much don't need to use the help of a router. You guys don't even need the router at all because you guys are within the same network itself. Okay, like what I'm trying to say is this person can just literally, this person over here can literally talk to this person by themselves. This person can talk to this person can talk to this person. It's pretty much within, because they're within the same network or same world. Imagine like the street, right? Because they're within the same street itself, they can talk to each other without talking to the router. The router does not play anything. But when this device over here wants to access, like, let's say, youtube.com or google.com or CTech Training Center or, Uber Eats, whatever it is that they need to, make the communication, right? This is where router comes in. And your computer, this node over here will tell, hey, my MAC address is this, my IP address is this. I'm requesting to access google.com. And what this will do, this will get the information passed on to the router itself. The router will be like, all right, thank you so much for identifying your request. It's almost like acts like a mailman, right? So what this will do, this will take the information now, pass this to youtube.com, get the request, and takes this information back. The youtube.com will send the information what it requests for, takes it to the router. Now your router will automatically know which computer have asked for the information, right? Because you already told I'm this MAC address, my IP address is this, I'm requesting for this. But it doesn't tell that outside. Your router keeps it in. Your router just needs to know the information. No one else needs to know the information outside of your router. So now your router gets the information back and be like, I know who asked for this information, and then it sends it back to this person with a reply from the YouTube itself. This is on a low scale. Imagine your home network right now. Myself, I have a cell phone, I have a laptop, right? Two devices. I have 4 members in my house, my 2 sisters, my mother, my brother-in-law. There's about 5 people in here, right? So 5 people, minimum 2 devices per each, right? And then thermostats, there's smart TV, there's like there's about 30 devices at home, and all of these are asking for requests to outside network, right? Your router has the capacity to understand which node have asked for which information from which uh, which website or whatever it is, which source, and then take the information and take it back to the correct device without losing the data, and take it back to the proper device back to them and give it to them. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's just okay. Now we're going to look at IP address and subnetting, which is a very good concept that we'll have to go through as well. Um, IP address stands for Internet Protocol. It's like a home address for devices on a network. Each device needs one to communicate. Okay, it opens up the channel for communication. IP addresses. Okay, like as we talked about MAC address, it's like a passport that gives you the ability to borrow IP address from the router itself, okay, automatically. IPv4 address, it goes like 192.168.1.10. It's a numerological number. It doesn't have any alphabetic number. It's a number. It's divided into octates, we call it, and octates are just dots, periods in between every three numbers. 192 there's a dot, 168 there's a dot, 1 dot, 10. Okay, and this is just a common example of it. And then whereas IPv6, we actually call it nibbles. You don't have to go too deep into it, but you'll have numeric and alphanumeric as well. Okay, it has mixtures of words and letters. The reason why they came up with IPv6 is IPv4 address, you can only have 4 billion addresses. Okay, which means if you look at the human population now, we're at, I think, 8 billion or something, the 8 or 10 billion, I think, right? We're going to be running out of IPv4 address very soon. Actually, in a lot of countries, they have already ran out of the personal devices, what we have, right? Your cell phone has to have a public IP address too. So it's running out. IPv6 is like, I think, a 38 octillion or something like that. We'll never run out of for the next 200 years. So it's more viable for us to use IPv6. It's longer, it's newer, it's meant for the future, growing future itself. There's two different modes of receiving. Sorry, guys. There's two different methods of getting these IP address. One is through a manual. You can actually assign to yourself, which is not really recommended. Now, the other one is dynamic, assigned by DHCP. DHCP is run on it's a service that's run on your router itself. It lets you, the router will decide which IP address gets led out to which device for how long and those type of things. Okay, it's done automatically to the router services. It's one of the best. We always recommend nowadays to use DHCP, not static. Okay, itself. What is subnetting? Subnetting is breaking up a larger network into smaller subnetworks. You guys don't have to get into too much deeper into subnetting and anything like that. That is more when you get into networking, network administration, network analyst itself. Okay, but just understand the concept. Subnetting means breaking a larger network into smaller subnetworks. Helps organize and secure networks. Subnet masks define how many devices can be in a network itself. IP address and subnetting made easy for help desk analyst itself. Let's make IP simple. Each device on networks needs an IP address to be found. It's like a phone number, right? Unique, and it tells where to send data. As we talked about in this previous some of the examples, your router needs to know who was asked for who was requested to go to youtube.com, right? If your device is going to youtube.com, and where if your mom has a device and she's looking at newses, right, to see what's happening around the world, right? You're probably listening to a music, and your parents are probably listening to music, right? Or newses. You don't want the data to be switched around and sent to the wrong person. So your device, when it asks for request to the router itself, it needs to have a unique IP address and following with the MAC address as well, right? And that's how the data is sent to the correct personnel itself. Okay. And two main types, as we talked about: IPv4 and IPv6. Subnetting without maths. Okay. Think of subnetting like breaking a big apartment building into units. Subnet masks tell where the network ends and the device begins itself. Example, if you see 255.255.255.0, which equals 254 devices in one network. So remember, I'll just share you back my CMD screen here. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed this one over here. I'll scroll up in here. Let's stop over here. Subnet mask. You see where it says 255.255.255.0, which means in my home network, I can connect maximum of 254 devices. When you see that, okay? And usually this is what you'll see: 254 devices, okay? Every time there's a zero here, which means it allows for more devices to connect in. Okay. But as long as you see a 255.255.255.255.0, which means you can connect maximum of 254 devices. Okay. Let me go back to the thing. Real IT help desk example is, if you ever see 169.254, whatever the number after that, X and X is just not like any number, it means no DHCP or no internet. Okay, whenever you see the number. So in the interview, if you ever see a IPv4 address that starts with 169.254, what does that mean? It means DHCP service is not working, which means that there's no internet connection. If two devices has the same IP address, which means that this will have IP conflict. So if in an interview, if they ever ask you that you're getting an error on the computer saying that IP conflict, what would be the issue be like? What would be the main cause of the issue? You can confidently say there's more than two devices with the same IP address. Um, one device with an IP address will never make an issue. The second device with the same IP address will make an issue, a conflict of IP address, which means whichever the first device on the network will receive the package, but in a lot of cases, both computer will not be able to access the network itself. It'll stop. The router will say, okay, I'm not going to send any information to both of them. I'm going to stop. The reason why, imagine like this, right? As I said, our building address is 4168 Finch Avenue East, right? Let's say the Canada Post guy is trying to deliver a mail, and he sees there's two buildings identical next to each other that has 4168 Finch Avenue East. Do you think that he's going to take the risk on delivering the sensitive letters or documents to which building, or is he going to say, nope, I'm not going to deliver to any one of you guys. You guys figure it out. Who's actually 4168? Let me know, I'll deliver. Or I'm not going to deliver this mail, right? So it makes sense for them to not deliver the package itself than to deliver and compromise the data, right? It's just a data security wise, okay? If you cannot connect to the printer, is it on the same network? Sometimes when you ping something or when you try to do a trace route, if you're not able to do, make sure if it's on the same network itself. What we mean by the same network is, okay, so you see here, and again, I'm going to show you, go back to the same. I'm going to refer back to my CMD itself. So in here, if I see my IP address here, you see this last 0? This means that anything this last number here, this can go from 2 to 254, and this number can change, but these number must stay the same: 192.168.86. As long as any other node is starting with these numbers over here. You see how these are 255, this is 255, this is 255. These numbers cannot be changed. They're now locked in. As long as the subnet mask says that these numbers are 255, it has reached the limit. It's locked. These numbers cannot change. As long as any other node within the same IP range, these range over here, the last number can change. Doesn't matter. It could be, as long as it cannot go beyond 254, and it cannot go less than 2. 1 has already been taken for the router itself, right? So from 2 to 254, it can be any one of those numbers, the last digit over here, okay? But these things has to be exact same on any other nodes. As long as a node is the same, starting the three placements are same, we should be able to ping each other. If they're not, then there must be on a different subnet itself. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone, any questions so far?
Okay, I was gonna ask, are you familiar with IoTs?
Yeah, I mean, IoT devices, yes.
Yeah. So can we say nodes and IoTs are the same or they are different?
IoT device can be a node as well, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it can connect to a network, man, anything can be a node, right? So IoT device can be considered as a node for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they could be, they are part of that big node. Yes.
Okay. And also,
Yeah.
if we could do a command prompt on the Windows, how can we do a command prompt on a Mac?
It's called terminal. On a Mac, it's called terminal.
Oh, okay.
ERMINAL, I think. Terminal.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. Thank you.
No problem.
And one last one. If we're having conflicts of IP addresses, how can we get to resolve it?
Very good question. So I was going to come to that. So usually, if you have conflict of IP address, and I'll tell you a scenario where this does happen. I've seen this happen in about most common places. Um, most common places will have this way. Sometimes in the past, they might had one computer. They set up a manual IP address for it, and they probably did some work, and they no longer needed it. They turned it off for months, weeks, or years, right? Whatever it is. Now, maybe all of a sudden they needed something out of the computer, data or whatever it is, right? They needed it. They turned it back on. They plugged it into the network. A few hours later, the computer just doesn't work. Both, like, couple of computers doesn't work or something like that, or like two computers now work in the network. Some issue happened. Mostly these are like called servers, right? They control a lot of the file system and everything. The reason is because the newer ones probably are assigned through DHCP. There's a rule that's created on the router side. It's done automatically, which is recommended. But in the olden times, we used to do it manually, which is not recommended right now. So in that case, you have to identify which device has IP conflict, which is from the administrator side, from the network administrator. It's very easy to find out which two computers are nodes. I don't want to say nodes. Sorry, computers. I want to say nodes. Which two or more nodes holds the same IP address? They can figure it out. They can tell you where exactly it's at, and you go in and you can manually change it, which I'll show you right now in my computer as well from a Windows perspective. Okay, on a Mac it's slightly different. You might have to look at it from on a Google or YouTube. It's very easy. It's just switching from a static to a dynamic itself. I'll show you just in a little bit. Okay, I'll show you how that's done.
Okay, but is it our job as a data analyst? As a data analyst, is it
Yes,
our
it
job to
100%. It could be possibly yes. It's a very very simple scenario what I've seen a lot of time happening in help desk. Yes, very very possible scenario. And it's something, it's something that it misses out, but it's very simple to identify once you know what you're looking at. Once you know IP conflict means two or more device has the same IP address, and you ask your network administrator to see if you can figure out which computer has these IP addresses. He can give you a list, and then you can go in and change them. And I'll show you exactly what to do. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. And Smriti has asked a question. Okay, so for example, I'm using a printer which is in a different location. I can't access it. Yes. So um, not like I wouldn't say a different location. So what, like, yes, different location is one scenario, but in an office, right? What they might have done is sometimes is let's say there's I'll tell you a scenario right now. So when I used to work in Bombardier Aerospace, Bombardier Aerospace was there's two different countries involved in it. One is U.S., one is Canadian, and U.S. Armed Forces had their airline built in Bombardier Aerospace, and U.S. defense system builds their U.S. defense helicopters shelling and assembly in Bombardier Aerospace. This is back in 2017. You'd have it's the same location, but maybe in the same facility as well. You have to have two different networks, two separate. One cannot see what the other one's doing. We call it subnetting, splitting it up and putting almost like a virtual wall. And when you do that, remember as I showed you here, we can make the different network itself. Once we do that, it becomes a totally different location. It'll be almost like we're putting it in a different island itself. So if this number is changed from 192.168 from 86 to like 1 over here, right? This cannot, the both cannot see each other. It'll become virtualized environment itself. And it's a very high level concept. You'll understand when you go into network administration. But when you just think of it this way, when you say like the three numbers on a subnet mask is 255.255.255, which means the three numbers here, the sections here are locked in, and they should be identical. Any device that you're trying to connect internally, like the printers or anything like that, should be in the same three number layering. Okay, it's called octets. So these three octets must be the same for it. As long as these are same, they'll be able to communicate easily. If they're different, that means they're a different network, and your network administrator will have to troubleshoot that.
Okay.
There might be a routing issue, or there might be misconfiguration or something like that, right? So they'll give you proper instructions. Sorry. Okay. 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 So what does a number mean? 192.168 or 1.100? This is your IP address at home or in office. So this is basically internal. So think of it like this: 4168 Finch Avenue East, right? That's a building. That address was given to us by the government, right? But the 4168 Finch Avenue building itself has, I think, over 50 different offices internally. The government does not need to know that that we have. The government does not concern how much units we have. Maybe now they do, but realistically speaking, if the building can have 100 units, it's up to the building management, right? Same thing works like that. But if a mail comes in, if I was to going to send unit PH penthouse 05 letter for you, I would write in PH05, but dash 4168 Finch Avenue East. What are the postal code, right? Canada Post is in charge of taking those letter and giving to 4168 Finch Avenue East building maintenance people, right? Or the maintenance office itself. And then the office internally inside the building takes a letter and identify if this is for penthouse 05, which is CTEC Training Center, and then they come and deliver it to my door itself, right? So this is same way it works this way. When you see that IPv4 address on your computer here, which is what is here for you guys, this address over here, the IPv4 address here, this is considered as internal IP address, okay? Your outside world cannot see this. It doesn't care about this. It's your router does this internally inside of your office, your home, or internal network itself, okay? That's how this works. But you might think of it be like, okay, so what is external? You guys can get external address as well, which I'll show you guys. Show you guys on thing here itself. And sorry. So if you go, let me share my full screen here, and we're gonna do a small exercise. We're almost done, guys. So don't worry, we're almost done. But I just want to finish off. Before I finish off, I want to do a small exercise with you guys. So if I go here on Google, I'm just going to go to google.com here. And in your Google, I want you guys to do the same thing here. What is my IP address? So when you guys do this, go into what is my IP.com here. This is one I always use. Okay, so if you see here, this is my public IPv4 address. This is what the outside world is seeing my router. This is what my router's address is. Just I told you about my building 4168 Finch Avenue East. That is my building address, right? This is what everybody's seeing. This is my modem's door from the outside itself, right? So let's say this. Can you do the same thing on your can you guys sorry, there's just ringing my ears. Can you guys
Okay, let's do that.
yeah, let's do this. So let's change I want you guys to share your IP address. The reason what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the trace route, and some of you guys will be surprised is it'll be blocked for some of you guys, and you guys will see that it's blocked by a firewall, and you'll see exactly it's leaving my leaving my house and doing everything, but it gets blocked at a certain level. So let me and you guys can try trace routing to my IP address here too. So which is I'll post it on the group. Not the group chat. Sorry, the Google chat itself. You guys can see, but I'm going to encourage you guys to share me your IP address as well. So which I'm going to run it in the my CMD here, so you guys can see. If you guys can share your IPv4 address, we can just do an address. Okay, perfect. So Shoaib has sent his 142. So I'm going to do the same thing. Trace RT and just put in his IP address over here. And this is Bell. So we can see that the DSLBell.ca. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach virtually from my house to your house modem or your workplace modem. And this is a very interesting way of looking at it. Sometimes it won't allow you to block. Sometimes it allows. It depends on the network and the ISP. I've like with Rogers, I know when we do with other classes, it allows we can actually really ping your place and go through. Sometimes Bell, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Internet as well, it blocks it. We'll see how this works. And you're seeing now you're getting request timeout, right? But at least we understand that this has left my house. This has actually left my Rogers, Ajax Rogers, and it left Rogers. It actually went to Bell, right? It went to the Toronto Exchange, Bell's server. And right now, this is not something we can do anything about this. This is outside of our hands. We cannot, even if this gets blocked, this is not us, right? We can try to let them know that, this is a legitimate connection, maybe, but it's still not in our hands to fix. And I hope that this gets blocked so you guys can see a live demo of how blocked sessions will look like. And the thing is, it'll try to reach a destination maximum of 30 times, okay? 30 hops. The reason why Windows has determined 30 hops being the top, because after 30, it means that it's pretty much non-reachable. It's blocked. There's no point of wasting time. That's the reason why, okay? And then we'll do Smithy and then Charles as well. Yeah, and you guys try to trace route my IP address to C2 if you guys get, blocked. Or does it actually say, yes, it's reachable, right? So yeah, this is a very good example of this is what a block will look like. So you guys will see. So at a certain point here, you see how it's just stopped. There's no more, it's gonna get blocked, which is very nice to see. And this will prove that there's nothing that we can do. This is not on our side. It's just literally getting blocked on before it reaches the vendor side, right? So it's a vendor related issue. It's not internal issue that we can resolve. Perfect. So 30, it failed. No request timeout. It didn't reach the thing, okay, destination. But it still left our place. The last place it stopped at this, and it just refused to connect, establish the connection itself. Okay, but we can see that it's there. It's located. We can locate that. Now let's try the other people's as well. This is Rogers. So this possibly sometimes might be able to. Yeah. So this see. Reported destination non-reachable. So it seems like it just got blocked at my Ajax at the Ajax junction here. It just says trace completed. That's it. It's done. Yeah, destination destination net unreachable. It's just at this point is not reachable. And again, if we try it again, it's going to try, but it'll fail again as well, I'm sure. Yeah. So this is failed again. It's getting blocked at the Ajax, like Rogers level, right? It's probably a feature in Rogers' network stating that, hey, somebody's trying to see if this is another home network is reachable, maybe for an attack or something like that, right? So it's a firewall on the Rogers side itself. It's just non-reachable because this IP address is completely different from where we just stopped, and the report is destination net unreachable. So okay. Now let's do Charles's as well quickly. And some people's we might be able to reach, and this is Bell. So this is most likely going to fail as well. So as we start to see the same pattern again, it gets blocked at a certain point, and from this point, it's just going to be request timeout. And then we're going to do last but not least, Shahil's one. And since I know this is going to fail, I'm going to just stop this thing here. And to stop it, it's Control C, okay? To stop. I know it's going to fail. There's wasting time here. I just want to run through Sahil's one here. Let's do the trace route here. This is Rogers as well. So if you see this one over here, Shahil's one, we were able to reach his router without any sort of blockage or anything like that. Most likely because we're part of the same, the same Rogers group or something like that, right? So if we see here, this has left Rogers Ajax and went into another. It seems like another Rogers pool, reached and then end of his modem, which is his router here at his home. So I was able to leave from my home and reach router's entry point from my place over here, just successful. This is a very good example of how a successful will look like. Okay, and you see this IP address over here matches with the IP address of what we're trying to reach, and it's a very positive reach. Okay, for us. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Perfect. Very good. Yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed your class so far today. I really appreciate the time that you guys have taken for today's class. I want to just hear from you guys. How was class today? Was there anything you guys need explanation about or anything about networking?
Okay. At first, I think you started from two, which is networking, but I was hoping you're gonna start from one.
Sorry. What was that?
I said I was hoping you're gonna start from one because I believe you have one, which is the IT support, right?
Yeah, yeah, IT support. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the intro to IT, and that's our lesson one. And under that, it has the help desk, IT support, network team, system, and the server team. Is that correct?
Like which one are you talking about, brother?
Yeah, because it says week one.
Yeah,
I'm trying to check on the courses.
LMS.
Yeah, I'm checking the courses right now because you made a video.
Oh,
You
yes,
made
yes, yes. The pre-recorded
some
videos we're
recording,
talking
yeah,
about, right?
some class recording for us, right?
Yes, yes, yes. The pre-recorded
Yeah.
ones, right?
So you said week one, lesson
Hmm?
one, intro to IT.
Hmm? So the pre-recorded already has the content for the intro to IT. So that complete video will have your things what we need to cover for the intro to which I'll share here. One second. So which has it's a pre-recorded videos on the introduction to IT. It explains to you about how IT department works, what are the departments inside IT, what are the responsibilities, and the roles of each IT department is. And then we talk about the intro to hardware here as well. These are all pre-recorded videos, right? Covers it.
Okay,
Usually next week when we come in, you guys will have questions about this, what we watched here, what you guys watched, and
okay,
we'll have 30 minutes. We'll discuss about it, and then we move on to the next lecture.
okay. I want to understand now. I want to
Hmm?
understand this pre-recorded videos you have for us is what we are going to use and store them.
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Okay, this recorded videos you
Hmm?
have for
Hmm?
us right now is what we are going to use and store them. We're going to learn.
Some, like, not everything, right? About 20 to 30%. The things like, you know, like, I don't think we need to sit in a class for 2 hours and talk about how our IT department works, what are the different roles into the IT department, what is each role's responsibilities. I think the 2 hours that we meet, we can use for something more hands-on, like what we did today, right? The first, 30 minutes, 40 minutes was lecture, but you see majority of them were doing things on ourselves, and this is how it starts, right? And next class we'll be even doing more hands-on activity, right? So rather than wasting time on theory too much, it's better we focus on, the 2 hours we meet on practical stuff. Theory we can do through recording and we can discuss in the live class, but I think the live class is more productive when we have hands-on activities.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say here is, okay, let me just make you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mhm,
You made a recorded video for us,
mhm.
and what is it called? MLSC, right? This is the
LMS, yes,
yeah, the
LMS.
element. So this video recorded, it's for us to study, like to learn from like you said, lesson one, intro to IT. We
Yes,
watch the videos, we learn from the videos.
yes, and it covers like the concepts, some of the concepts. Yes.
Okay, and is there like is there like an assignment once we're done watching the videos?
Not for these, because these are good to know. They're not really, it's just informational for you. They might, it's nothing too, it's something that's too important for you. Anything that's very important for you, we will cover them in live class.
Okay.
Like, what I mean by is, like, let's say this, right? If I need to give you a video on, I'm just trying to think of a good example is, how do you actually understand IT department or corporate, right? It could take 2 hours to explain to you in a live class, but it might not be very interesting for you to sit down in 2 hours and hear me lecture for 2 hours, right? Without you having any sort of engagement, doing sort of, some sort of activity, right? It's very dry. You'll go to sleep if you listen to me for 2 hours if I'm just lecturing. So what we do is these type of things, it's good for you to know, but it's not very important. So those get converted into pre-recorded videos, so you can watch them on your free time. This Monday also you'll get released some intro to help desk, Windows, and these are just good to know. And they're just like short videos, right? So you watch them on your free times, which will give you a good understanding of how this works. But they're not something that's going to be so important for you. If you only understand, you'll be successful, right? What we cover in the live class is more important. It has hands-on activity. You learn from it.
Okay.
Right? Like the recorded videos are good to know. You still have to watch them, but there's not an exam behind them. There's not a marking behind them. They're informational video for you to understand how things work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a more of informational. Good to know.
Because I was thinking once we go through the lesson one intro to help decks, once we go through it, we come back on the live class, we discuss about what we've gone through, then you explain to us further.
Yeah, so usually next week when we come in, I'll ask you guys about last week's class, like the lesson one and lesson two, if you guys have any questions or not. Usually the first 30 minutes that's the agenda for the first 10 to 30 minutes. We discuss about it if you guys have any questions. And from like we've been running this for 3 years now, right? Usually on these the introduction videos, the pre-record videos, it's very straightforward. It's very minimalistic questions. So because it's like a good to you'll start understanding what I mean by good to know information, because it's very dry. It's just informations that it's just good to know. There's not value behind them, but it's like one of those things. You might not use it, but when you go into the workplace, this is something that helps you to be like, oh yes, we talked about this in the pre-recorded video, right? This is what this means. just like just like you learn about how to check the CPU, the RAM, and everything in the hardware section here. We go through introduction video on how to actually check these in this video. It's about 23 minutes video, 23 30 minutes video. If we're
Okay.
going to cover this in the live class, it's just unnecessary waste of 30 minutes 40 minutes. But we can discuss this in the next class for sure. The first 10 to 30 minutes we'll discuss this, and I'll answer any questions you guys have about this. No problem at all.
Okay.
Okay. And this way you guys can save time, and when we meet these 2 hours, we can fully potentially use them for your future.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I answered your question, Charles.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah. It's just to streamline a lot of these stuff, man, and that's what it is. Any other question, guys?
So do we have any assignment or anything to practice?
Not for this week. From
Okay.
next week, you will for sure.
Okay.
Next week, you will have a quiz, actually, intro to IT quiz. Okay, I'll explain to you guys about it. Don't worry. Nothing
Fine.
this week. The first week is usually a cool off. We don't want you to
Yeah.
worry
Mhm.
too much. From next week, there'll be assignments and quizzes. And
Okay.
usually, there's 2 or 3 quizzes before we start. There's introduction thing. Once we go into Azure, you have a big assignments, and this is what the 3 assignments are. And
Okay.
usually, this is where you spend your most amount of time. We'll sit down in class, we'll go through it, and then you'll take it and you'll work as a team. You will not be a student at this point. You'll be considered as a team.
Okay.
And you
Look.
guys will be, yeah, and this will be a lot of fun. And a lot of people, when they come into this, it'll be a lot of excitement. Trust me.
All right.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Lot of fun.
Yeah. Looking forward.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
And it's just around the corner, guys. So
Yeah.
don't worry, it won't be too long. Okay, just around the corner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trust me, you might seem like you don't know about Azure when we give introduction, when you guys go around play, and then do some research online, talk to your team, ask them for help. It just opens up a brand new skills, and you guys will be like, trust me, within the weeks we have seen people turn from not knowing anything to
Mm.
being experts, and they can explain certain concept in a way that we have been amazed, at it, right? So just have the confidence, just push forward. You guys will be all right.
Yeah.
In just 1 or 2 weeks, you guys will start. Even like next week, we'll go into we'll talk about Azure and those type of things.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking forward
but
as I said.
for sure. And just so you guys, I just want to let you guys know, just by next week class, you guys should have watched the week 1 lesson and then week 2 lessons as well. Okay, just take it on your own time. It's nothing too big, but just watch them, please. Okay, it is good to know, but once you guys watch them, it gives you a much more clear, not even clarity, but I would say a bigger picture of what we try and talk about. And what does an IT department does? It's just a bigger picture of it. It's a clear picture. Okay, it's just better for your role in your future. So, okay. I really appreciate all you guys' time, and I'm sorry for taking 28 minutes more of your time than what I've asked from you guys, and I really thankful that you guys didn't complain. I know
No,
you
it's
all,
actually okay. No, it's okay.
yeah, and I know you guys are all busy and tired as well. I totally understand it, and I'm very sorry for coughing all over the class. And I'm sure I'll be okay by next week. So it's just a flu. And be careful, guys. This flu is very, very nasty. I have never suffered anything like this. I have been bedridden for almost 4 days straight. So, and today is the day I got recovered. Thank to God. It's just a very terrible flu. So just try to be as much more aware of your surroundings, please. Okay, it's some sort of variant of COVID. I still don't have taste or smell yet, so it's very bad.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any question, we're done
And
our
I would,
class. Yeah, go ahead.
one more thing, I would really appreciate it if you could give us more time. You understand? Like add more time to the explanation. For instance, you gave us what? You gave us 29 minutes more. So if you could extend more time to it, we are going to appreciate that too.
I don't, and trust me, I never want to end the class very soon. If you guys want to talk about it, I'm here. We can definitely talk about it. You guys are my last class, so I'm okay to go on discuss about if you guys have any questions. I'm totally open, not a problem at all.
Okay.
I'm available. So if you guys need to ask any questions, I'm totally available. You guys can I'm more than happy to answer, but I just want to be respectful of individual timing, right? So if you guys more than welcome to ask me to stay, and I'm more than happy to stay.
Okay. Anyways, I really don't have much to say because I haven't really gotten to the depth of the data analyst program of a thing. So if I've gotten into the depth of it and I will understand more, then I'll have more questions to put out.
You mean the help desk analyst, right? Not data
Yeah.
analyst.
Sorry, the
Totally
help
different.
desk analyst.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're two
No problem.
different things.
Yeah, they're totally two different roles, man.
Okay,
No
understood.
problem. No problem. Yeah. No worries. That's okay. Yeah, and trust me, once we go slightly into Azure, you'll start and you'll start have a lot more questions because the assignments are made in a way to make you collaborate. So how the assignments are uh, constructed, they're individual submission, but you must work as a team to collect informations, research online, help each other. It's you can do it on yourself, but that's not the whole point here, right? Imagine a team. That's what I say in the lesson one to in the IT department. Everybody works as a team. There's no thing as individual personnel work here. Everybody has to support someone, right? So that's the mentality that I want you guys to, going forward, have the mentality is you guys are part of a team, and everybody must, come into the end, right? So when we used to always train the IT department, it's always we are a team. We always must we must always bring everyone to the end, right? So help each other out, and it's never about giving them the direct answer, right? But it's always pointing in the right direction. Be that if somebody's asking, I don't know how to do this, point them in the right direction, right? Be like, hey, this is probably what they're looking for, and this is probably what you might have to look for, right? Don't give the right answer, but point them in the right direction so they can get the answer, right? So, and that's what I would do too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And trust me, I would never give you guys an assignment and be like, here, go and figure it out. Even the Azure class too, we would actually have a sit down lecture. One full class is about how the assignment, what I want you guys to do for the assignment. Obviously, I'm not going to work on the assignment, but I'm going to do another assignment that looks similar to it, so you guys understand. At least I'll cover 50 to 60%, and then you guys will take it on and then figure out the rest 40 to 50%. So that way, you guys have learning ability, and you guys will have time to do the assignments and work as a team and figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
No problem.
Okay. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much. I want you guys to have a very good night, and I'll see you guys next week at 6 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Thank you.